Yo boys and girls, welcome to this video. I'm gonna tell you about something that can make you an extra £2,000 per week without clocking in and without having to spend a penny. Or I say a penny, maybe like £10. If you've got £10 spare, then you can get started with this, like the best possible level. What I want to start this by saying is that like in 2017, 2018, when I was getting started, I did not have an opportunity like this, and I was doing dropshipping back then, and it took me around 2 years to see any decent success. And then by the age of like 21, I had done a 6-figure month in dropshipping. But that took me a very, very long time to achieve. Longer than it probably should have, but we didn't have the same tools and the same guidance and the same things that we have access to now, and the online space wasn't as popular as it is now. So there was things that didn't exist back then that we now have access to. So I want to start by saying that, because you have no idea how big this opportunity is. And this is coming from somebody who has done every single business model. And I made a lot of money with dropshipping, lost it all, and then went into this like vicious loop of what I call the SOS loop, which is the shiny object syndrome loop. So I've tried every single business model, because the shiny object syndrome loop is where you basically jump from one business model to the next without seeing it through and getting to a point where you're experienced enough to see some success. I would quit before that point and move on to the next thing. So I've tried everything. I've tried Amazon FBA, tried SMMA, I've done dropshipping, and I've done them all pretty successfully. But I didn't stick them through long enough to really scale them up and make them into sustainable businesses. That's what led me to TikTok Shop. That is something that I want to talk about today, is the TikTok Shop affiliate side of things more than the seller side of things. Not the seller side of things, because that's definitely a much higher capital gain, and it's something that you can naturally progress to when you become a TikTok Shop affiliate. But yeah, back in like when I was like 21 years old, I lost everything with dropshipping, and maybe that's a video that I can talk about another time. And I've done a video on my channel, I think it was the last video I did, or 2 videos ago, where I talk about that SOS loop and how to get through that, because I've been through it and I've gotten through it, and it's something that I want you to definitely watch. But right now, let me tell you about this massive opportunity and how you can get started as soon as literally after this video. Because I think that's the biggest thing, is a lot of people don't realise that there's an app sitting on your phone that you can start to make money from. It's just never existed this easily before. So back in the day, we would have to spend, I say back in the day like I'm like 50 years old, I'm literally 24. But I am a dad, so I guess that makes me a little bit older than I probably feel. So if we compare the opportunity with TikTok Shop now compared to what we had with dropshipping, you don't need to spend any money on paid advertising. You don't need to master a ton of skills. With dropshipping, you need to know how to build a website. You need to know how to do all of these different things that you do not need to know how to do with TikTok Shop. TikTok Shop is master one skill, and that's video making, and making videos go viral, which is much easier to do than it sounds. A lot of people are scared off by this idea of going viral. But yeah, this idea of going viral is actually really easy to do. And it's something we teach inside of our program, where like our students are joining, and within like 48 hours they're getting their first sale, which is what made me realise like this is something that is so much easier to do for beginners than something like dropshipping, because there is no paid advertising, there is no buying inventory, there is no massive risk. The only risk that you're doing is you're spending your time on creating videos versus doing something else. And it's like there's probably enough time in the day where you can spend an hour or 2 each day making videos. So that's what I would start to do right now. Is one, I would, if you're doing any other business model, shift my attention to this if you're struggling and you're not seeing success and you've given it your all and nothing seems to be working. If that's the position that you're in, I would shift my attention to TikTok Shop, because it's genuinely one of the easiest things that you can do right now, the biggest opportunities with much, much lower risk than everything else. Even if you sign a client with SMMA, that money is not really yours until you prove that you can get results. With TikTok Shop, you only get paid if you get results, so nobody's taking that money off you. That's the beauty of it. You don't have to deal with all these other pitfalls, with all these other business models. It's a great place for beginners especially to get started and get their foot in the door with online business. Like I said, it used to cost a lot of money to start a business, even if you are dropshipping. There's a lot of people that will say all these things are low cost, but I've done every single one of them, and I can tell you, SMMA comes with a lot of anxiety around client results. Amazon FBA comes with stock and inventory, which you have to spend money on. And I spent £5,000 on stock for an Amazon FBA business, and that business ended up, it got to 10k a month, it did well, but it turns out the supplier sold me fake goods and I lost £5,000. That put me in a really bad position back then. And maybe that's something I'll talk about another day. But this is why I wouldn't recommend it, because there's huge risk involved. That's risky. If you've got to park money in stock in the beginning, it's a risk. And granted, you can minimize that risk by starting small and growing it, but that takes a very long time because the payouts on Amazon and everything like that are very, very slow. Next, we've got dropshipping, and with that, we've got all of these costs that come, which is advertising, subscription fees. You've got buying the actual inventory once the product sells. This is a common myth with dropshipping, is the fact that when the customer pays, then you pay for the product. It's like, yeah, in theory, that is correct, but in reality, it actually is a case of waiting for that to be paid out, and in the meantime, you have to have that cash available in your bank account because you need to pay for the product before that payout lands, while you're also paying for advertising. So that's the reality of it, and that's how it works, and that's coming from years of experience, not just me making it up. There's been times where at the beginning when I'm testing products and something starts to work, I didn't have the cash to scale it because I couldn't afford to spend £1,000 down advertising and also pay my supplier £300. That's the common misconception. Dropshipping organic, entirely different ballgame, but again, requires you to have that little bit of cash so that you can fulfill orders. So if you're starting with absolutely no cash, then it's probably not the best idea to jump into those business models because there's a little bit more risk involved than just getting started with TikTok Shop. And let me tell you why. TikTok Shop is something where you master a single skill. You're mastering how to create videos and go viral. And again, don't be scared off by the whole going viral thing. It's very easy on TikTok, and that's the way the algorithm works. If you make a good video that people like to watch, it will go viral. So don't worry about that. The next thing is you do not have to deal with a single customer when you sell a product. Not a single one. You sell a product, you get paid your commission, and that's you and the brand as a partnership, done. That is all they want from you. They want to see sales coming in, and they're going to be happy with you, and they're going to want to partner up with you even more, send you more free stuff, and etc. Like, we got these products here. All of this stuff that you see came for free. We don't pay for any of this stuff. They send it us for free now because we proved ourselves as creators that we can do it. And that's the only downside in the beginning, is you might have to order one of these products, which this cost, I think, £11. So that was the £10 I was talking about. You'll need to basically order a product in the beginning so that you have something to film. And if you don't have £10, find something in your house that you currently have already and you've already paid for and you're using, and if it's, check if it's on TikTok Shop, and if it is, get started with that, make some sales and order some more products, and then when you get some sales, brands will actually want to send you stuff for free. So it's like a win-win game. Like, the more sales you make, the easier it gets to get products because people will just send you stuff. Like, all of this stuff you see back here, that pram right there was like £300, I think, and we don't even need it yet. But a brand sent us that for free on TikTok because of the sales that we're getting, and we've not even opened it, which is just crazy. This is the thing with TikTok. Like, we've been sent probably, not even kidding, probably £3,000 to £4,000 worth of free samples. Just free stuff sent to our house. And there's one brand that just keeps sending us these bottles every single week, and we don't even ask for them. It's a Chinese supplier. They seem to just not manage their shit correctly. And we're just getting sent bottles every single week. It's called Mayoki, kind of like a Stanley Cup, and we get one every single week without fail. And we don't even promote them. Like, it's the strangest thing. I think we've clicked a button on the TikTok Shop where we like, they can send us samples without us asking for them. And yeah, we get a sample every single week of these cups. So everyone got a cup for Christmas because we're trying to get rid of them. We just chuck them on to everybody's Christmas presents. Anyway, back to the actual nitty gritty of how you can get started. So you want to go to your TikTok Shop. You need to have 1,000 followers. And again, don't be afraid by that. Go watch the video on my channel where I talk about an entire course. And in fact, that's probably the best place to start, but I'll break it down a little bit. You need 1,000 followers. And then you apply for the TikTok Shop as a creator, and you get products that you want to sell, start making videos with them, post them on TikTok with the product tagged on that video, and then every sale that you get from that video, you'll get paid a commission. And this commission can be as little as 50p, which I don't necessarily recommend, all the way up to like £5, £8. There's people, like one of my friends, Owen, selling a product where when he gets a sale, he makes like £7.20 or something like that. And that's an amazing commission, because a lot of the time, if you're doing a dropshipping store anyway, you're going to be running on like a 20% margin, for example, maybe 30% if you're lucky, 40% if you're really fucking good at marketing. But right now, 40% on TikTok, 40% margin with dropshipping is probably a lot more difficult to achieve, especially as a beginner, because it's way more competitive and everything would have to be like, you have to be a solid marketer to do that. But On TikTok, these commissions add up. One of the products that we sold towards Christmas was this like karaoke machine thing, and it was doing like £600 a day, and we was getting £1 15p for every sale we got. So we was just selling a lot of them. That's the game. You sell a lot of them very easily because it converts so high, because you don't need to take people off the TikTok platform, and they trust TikTok as a shop a lot more as it keeps growing. That trust builds, and it kind of becomes like Amazon. Like, you don't feel worried about buying on Amazon because you trust Amazon. Whereas if you take them to a Shopify website and do TikTok, Shopify Organic, for example, you're decreasing the trust because you're taking them to a website that doesn't have all the TikTok logos and it's not TikTok Shop, which is why I believe that even versus Shopify Organic, TikTok Shop is a better idea, in my opinion, because it's the same thing, except you have all the trust of like and reputation of what TikTok has built on their platform. This is why I think that everybody, especially beginners, need to be getting started with TikTok Shop and just like get the foot in the door. And for me, the natural progression of like a TikTok Shop affiliate is going to be somebody who does TikTok Shop, builds up some cash, 10, 20, 30k, and then you can launch your own product on TikTok, because now you understand the fundamentals of selling products on TikTok. So you can go from selling somebody else's product to selling your own product. And that's the process I'm in right now. We are doing a little bit less of other people's products and slowing that down, because we're about to launch our own supplement brand on TikTok. And that is where we'll push a lot of our videos now, and we'll just promote our own products. So every single sale that we get, it's like a hack, because now we get £30 for every sale minus the product cost. We keep that profit all ours, minus obviously TikTok fees and the cost of the product. We keep the rest. So if, say we're selling a £30 product and we keep £20 of that profit, then we minus TikTok's fees off, we might keep like 60, 70% of what we actually sell it for, versus getting 20% commission from the brand. So this is what I would recommend to everybody: is go and learn how to sell products on TikTok using videos, and then naturally progress into launching your own products. Something that you are passionate about is always good, something that you know you could sell yourself, and then start creating videos around that. And that's going to, one, build a listing on TikTok where other people are going to start to jump on it, and you can actually scale then to crazy numbers. You can scale to 6 figures a month, 7 figures a month is very possible on TikTok. There's brands doing it, and we'll be the next. That's for sure. We're working on getting to that level with our brand, but we cannot do that without the help of creators. So that's why it's so important that you get started now and learn the skill, because this will just keep progressing, keep getting better. And then over time, launch your own product. Genuinely a foolproof plan that I think everybody should be at least trying and understanding how to do that skill. If you are someone who wants to get started with TikTok Shop, go and check out, I've got like a 30-minute course on my channel. Check that out. And if you really want to get started and get good at this fast, hit the link in the description and book a call with my team, and we'll be able to discuss helping you out in getting inside our program. There is a fee to get involved, but I promise you it's worth it, and we do everything we can to help people inside of our program succeed. And we're actively in the TikTok space. We're launching products on there and we're posting videos on there. We understand this space, so we want to get you started as quickly as we can. And the people inside of our program will get first access to the product that we actually launch. So we did all the market research, we've done all the branding, we've done all the buying the inventory for you. We're going to give you a product and better commissions because you'll be part of the Paid Creators Club. So that's that. Go and watch the 30-minute course or book a call with the team down below, and hopefully you get started on TikTok ASAP.